I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another RC Conspiracies. We're going to get this one kicked off a little bit earlier than the schedule says, but I had to schedule it later because StreamYard wouldn't let me start it at 9:30 or schedule it for 9:30. We could start it at 9:30 just by going 10 minutes early. So that's what we did. Anyway, guys, hold on one second and we'll get this thing going.
When it rains, it pours. Water's up to my chin. Won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it. Many men have failed. But if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. Hope they won't shoot me down.
Hey, what is going on, you guys? Welcome to another live here on CCXRC. This is not really a conspiracy show today. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the No Limit RC World Finals and what's going to be happening there. So, they've finally got a good showing of trucks so far that are pre-registered, so that's looking good. It was a little bit low there for a little bit. I think everyone was trying to figure out what they wanted to run. I know I still not completely settled on my trucks, even though I've registered them. So we'll see how that goes. What's going on, Kurt's RC and RC Circus? Welcome, guys. I know it's been a little bit. We'll talk about that, the conspiracies behind RC Conspiracies and where it's at a little bit tonight as well. What's going on? Joshua Williams says he's working on his LMT now. So I've been spending a lot of time down at Digger's Dungeon getting ready for this. We set up the last track, and that was like a couple days right before it was going to go live. And that's because it had been completely leveled. Dennis had a car show or something there. They leveled everything. And so, yeah, he gave us some dirt to build a new track. So I went down there with my tractor and built something. It was supposed to be the track for World Finals. However, we found that it just took too long. And with as many trucks as we normally have, it would take way too long to get through racing if we did it with that kind of a track. So we had to change things up, and we kind of worked around the track that was already there and said, well, what if we did this and just kind of change one side or whatever. Came up with an idea, and so yeah, everything changed. We had a plan, and I was going to go in and just kind of mirror the left side on the right. That was the plan. But then measuring stuff got a little bit tricky. And, well, this is what we ended up with. It was leveled everything, put all the dirt back in the middle, and just going to literally take a rope down the middle, measured the distance between the two starting blocks to find our middle, run a rope out, and then we're going to go from that and mark out to the different spots where the jumps would be, all that. So that's what we ended up doing. I had my trusty little tractor there, which ended up not being necessary. I mean, we did great. We did level it with the box blade and some of that, but Ryan Anderson ended up coming in, and that's the other reason we leveled it. And he was like, dude, I'm bringing in 2 truckloads of clay. We're just going to level this. Like, let's use the clay. It'll last longer, all that. So that's what we did. And so he brought his skid steer in, and he really leveled it with that, got everything nice down to a nice playing field there. And then we went to mapping out what we had already had. But when it comes to the Andersons, everything goes much bigger. So the pods and stuff that we need for the corners are just massive, and it's great because it's a visual. You can't like go around it. You don't need cones marking it or like, the little plastic runners. You see the big teardrop box you have to go around. There's jumps. It looks amazing, guys. He was there actually today working on it when I was leaving this evening. I'd gone down there today to help Adam Anderson with a crawler track build. So they're building a little crawler track it's going to be open to the public as well as the, the track. When we're not racing there, the jumps stay there and people can come and run their trucks there. So I took some of my, kind of wood things from the backyard, and they had an old boat there, tractor tires / mud truck tires, monster truck tires, some old VP race fuel containers, and then dirt. There's like an endless supply of dirt, it seems like, on the Anderson compound there at Diggers. And he just kept coming with bucket load of dirt. It was funny watching him. He'd disappear and come back with a tractor full of dirt. This was a big, like, construction grade size Bobcat style cat loader. So anyway, really big. Welcome everybody in here. Kevin Gibbs, James Dean, what's going on? Thanks, man. Mr. Mad 2424, RC Circuits, Mets RC. So it's been pretty crazy. It's getting down to the wire here. And as of last weekend, the track wasn't completed. I posted a video if you watched last night, and it showed kind of the track layout. But that clay was just not being, it's really firm. He got it nice and packed, but it wasn't able to shape well. It was peeling and sticking. And so he was going in today with dirt to then cover that he could then shape and all that. So there's another jump that had to be made, and then a couple of little pods he's going to put in as they'll be for freestyle. They're not part of the track, except that you have to go around them on the backside to do the figure 8 that you're doing. So there's already people camping there as of today. When I was there today, 2 people were there camping. So that was awesome to see. I know more people are coming tomorrow. I'm setting my camper up tomorrow. I won't be spending the night tomorrow, but I'll be setting up. I've got to be down there tomorrow to do a shoot and some other stuff. And I don't know if you guys saw it. I did that video about the King Sling is planning something big. If you guys follow my Facebook and even on Instagram, I was reposting, but Weston Anderson jumped King Sling 168 feet. The world record for the mud trucks is 175 feet. So he's very, very close with King Sling, and this wasn't the event they were going for it at. This was to break their Muddy Motorsports jump record. I think they may have been even holding back a little to do it somewhere else. So big stuff coming from them. They're going for some stuff. Weston is nuts, man. He went all after it. Kevin Gibbs, think they were hoping for a little practice time? No, I don't think so. Ernest goes down and he just gets set up, and he ropes things off. So as people come in, they don't put their tents too close to the track, because we've got to leave enough room for people to be able to, bring up chairs and spectate if they want to. Otherwise, all the RC dudes would try and put their tents like right on the side of the track, and then nobody could get up there to watch. And Memorial Day weekend, man, people are coming in. They're doing the ride truck. They have 2 ride trucks running. And so there's people crawling all over the place. They're eating at the diner. They're buying stuff at the shop. And it's just a way to let people be able to get in there and watch that are coming through and want to see what's going on back there. Why the music's playing, why there's all these tents and campers, and, a ton of people will end up going through there in the weekend. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's not for practice, and it's not even ready for practice right now. It's pretty ruddy, and Ryan was working on getting that straightened out. I took down some rakes today and was raking it out. Yeah, I mean, lots of time is going into it. They'll start mapping stuff out tomorrow, even more. I have a little side-by-side. Shoot, how can I show that? let me think here. Well, let's talk about the crawler course. There's going to be a little crawler action available where people can crawl. And so today, Adam Anderson and I and Steven, who works there, we were working on building a crawler track. And so they have, the mud tires, monster truck tires, the VP stuff I was talking about. And then all of this stuff, I mean, the Andersons are big into RC. All of this stuff was at Adam's house. He had a crawler course built around trees and a whole bunch of stuff at his old house before he moved. When he moved, of course, you have to get rid of that stuff. So he had stored it all back in the woods, back in here, with all the copperheads and the snakes in there. That was fun. Where do they like to live? In this kind of junk. Luckily, there weren't any. But what's going backwards? There it is. So we got all this stuff out, and he brought in a bunch of dirt, different types of dirt, and even some like broken up asphalt and tires. We started making a whole bunch of different things and then doing testing on it as we were building it. And I brought in some of my stuff from my backyard to be able to help out as well. So it's kind of a mixed match of stuff. That the boat actually gets into play there in the background, as you can see. This little wall ride on the container. You climb up the back of the boat, go on the wall ride. So it's going to be pretty cool. And it just kept developing throughout the day as we kept working. Some of this stuff won't stay. Some of the stuff Adam's sons were just like, let us help, Dad. And they just grabbed everything that was on the ground and started putting it places, which is cool. I love seeing them get involved. But like there's a Lightning McQueen up here on the tip of the boat, and in the VP cans right here to kind of crunch over. These boards are kind of blocking the tire route through here. But yeah, it was really, really cool to see what they're doing here. It's a pretty good area. I think there's going to be some rock work going in under the boat here to have other types of terrain too. And some of this stuff is tricky, man. Like getting up this really helps now because the bottom of the boat you couldn't get up. But once you get up to this spot here, it's slippery, but you can hook up and get up there, and you got to kind of really maneuver it over that. And it's pretty wild. And actually, Adam had done it in reverse. This wasn't here yet. When he did it in reverse, this would have probably helped him out when he slid down the boat. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. There's some video of it out on my extras channel before it got to this developed stage of things. But yeah, there's mud tires here, and it's just going to keep getting worked on and done up a little more. So this will be something people can run. It's really tough too, because a lot of this is really sandy dirt. And so you start digging holes in and all that. And it's going to be pretty wild. It's fun though. Climbing on the monster truck tires is probably my favorite part, crawling up them, and the way that it kind of flexes over the treads is really cool. So that was probably my favorite part. That's the end of those. Let me see. I can probably get what I want to talk about is right in front of that area. What I was doing is, Ryan really took over the track build. We gave him the design of it and all that. And then he made it all bigger, not like runtime bigger, but like the pods are, instead of just having one at the very corner to go around, he made it a huge pod that you actually see. Like you can't go through that section because you'd hit the whole pod. So it really keeps you in the track. And so it's really cool. But I took some of the other dirt, the more sandy stuff, and started building like basically 4 jumps to the side that can be used if people wanted to do like side-by-side drags with their trucks and just kind of just for fun. Like it's not going to be anything as part of the event, but there's downtime. Like let's be honest. If you've ever been to an RC monster truck race, there is a ton of downtime because you're doing 15-second qualifiers with your truck, and then you're waiting for other qualifiers, or you're waiting for the next class to come up with your other 15-second truck to qualify. So you've got some time, right? Let's be honest. So this is just kind of some stuff that if you want to, you can play around on and have a little bit of fun in the downtime. Like I wouldn't be racing my race trucks on the little side-by-side thing. But if you want to bring out some other stuff and just have some fun, it's there. Or if you just want to hit it and jump on it, whatever, it's there to just have some fun on. And it may even, I think it might be turning into the hill and hole as well. They'll dig out holes and do the mud between the different jumps that we built there, because it's almost like one. But I was going to pull up, I have some video of it. It posted with the track video as well. So I could actually just pull it up on Facebook or on YouTube. That's probably the easiest thing to do. So if I pull up YouTube on here, I can just find a clip that shows it. I'll just go to that video. All right, so who's here? Joe Girding's here. He says, hey, what's going on, man? Barbecue. Josh Williams, a lot of downtime. Yeah, and so actually the first night they have a whole fun thing where they do like team things where you put bags over your heads and you go out and you drive and all that. So that's fun. Joe, Speed Addictions RC is going to be there. Andy Rich, yeah, man, says it'd be cool. It's a long ways from Michigan. Yeah, it is. My mom just drove it, though. She just got in tonight. She left at 6, got in about 8. So, yeah, for her, it's a 14-hour drive. All right, let me pull this up here and mute it, and then we'll go over here. I'm not going to get a copyright strike because it's my own video. So if you haven't seen this one, actually, this is that I can show you the track here. I don't know why I didn't do this a long time ago. There's Ryan Anderson in his Kubota. Way better than what I was doing with my tractor. Bigger bucket, flatter bucket, easier to get it straight and leveled out. Heavy D and them showed up. They were doing a discovery show thing for the race, the spring fling that weekend. And he was coming to test out the mud truck before they went out, hitting some of these jumps back here. That was a good time. And then we had 2 loads of dirt, and then Ryan got a 3rd load of dirt to make more work for himself. So here is the basic layout. You have this huge pod, kind of teardrops into here. You've got to jump across, and then you've got your ending. And there's also one other jump. This is the wrong angle to show. Let's show the other side. This is the right side to show you guys. So basically, you're going to come off the starting blocks, which is in this back corner here, down in the bottom right. You go down around the pod toward the middle, and this is a jump right here, where I'm kind of highlighting this area right here is a jump that takes you side across the track, and then you go in figure 8. There'll be a pod in the back here that you go around, and you come back and you hit this jump right here, go around this pod, and then you hit the big jump in the middle. There'll be a divider between them, and that way you end side by side, which makes it really fun for viewers to see when the trucks are just gassing it, who's going to cross first. It's a really, really wild ride that way. So it also, I'm just going to say this, not from my perspective, but it's way easier to film this as well than the Chicago style. Chicago style is like, don't expect to see a whole race, really. This way, both the trucks should be moving through the track at the same, if they're evenly paced and one doesn't crash or whatever, they shouldn't be that far off that you can't keep them from the side in shot together and then down to the finish line. That's one of the cool things about doing it this way, and you see them end together, at least from a video perspective. But yeah, so it's basically mirrored sides, and what Ryan did is he made it so that we had these huge, you can't really cut through here. You see the spot. There's not cones to get hung up on. You're going to go around that thing. And so it's pretty cool. And it should only take fast guys 14 seconds to get around it in the beginning. I think it'll get faster than that. It's pretty quick, which is good when you have as many trucks as we're going to have signed up. So it's looking good. But yeah, we just need the pod in the back, which won't be this big. It'll be smaller so you can see your truck over it. The best view is actually right here in the middle up on the driver's stand this year because this is such a high wall. You see your truck come off of here and go around. If you're standing on the driver stand, if you're standing, so let me try it again. If you're standing on the starting block, like right behind your truck, you can lose it a little bit behind this wall. It's a pretty good sized wall. They're taller than the truck, which makes it awesome for freestyle. We can do some big stuff off of all this. So it's going to be pretty cool. And then, yeah, this dirt has to go over here to make this jump on this side and then the pods. But again, Ryan was working on that tonight. And then also putting some easier to work with dirt on top of them, which was nice. So that's kind of the status update on it. People are coming in. Last I saw, there was 258 trucks registered. That's pre-registered. And you're still going to get the people that just show up and they're going to want to do it. So, yeah. Josh says 12 seconds. Autism Marcy's dad says, got to talk to wife again. Got to do some begging so I can come. You know, if you just showed up on Thursday, it's pre-qualifying. You could literally just qualify all your trucks pretty quickly. They're just, run them and qualify them. And then show up on Saturday and be there for the races. It'll be a long day. May run over into Sunday a little bit, but you might get through your trucks by Saturday. But yeah. The only thing is, I think retro you have to qualify on Friday. I don't think you can pre-qualify that because that track won't be set up. So that'd be the only thing. Friday is qualifying as well. Saturday morning is show and shine. And then racing begins Saturday around noon. I don't have the schedule right in front of me, but it's something like that. It's like, it's early. You bring your trucks out at like 8:39 on Saturday. The judges go through it by like 11, and they do like pre-ceremony stuff, and then Star Spangled Banner, all that kind of stuff. And then I think it kicks off right around, it might start at 11, but I think it could start at noon. Anyway, in that area, and then it's just racing. If you get through everything, and then all days, Sunday is freestyle and mud trucks. And then also they do the pullers. So, but a lot of times the racing goes Saturday and into Sunday. And the last time we went 2 years ago, the racing ended around 5 o'clock on Sunday. And so freestyle was like, quick turnaround on everything, or maybe it ended at like 3. The mud truck was definitely quick turnaround. While they were freestyling, they were digging out the ditch. So, hey, Steve D22 from Oz. Cool, man. Riff Raffs, what's going on, man? Been a while. Mainly because I haven't done these in a little while. Okay, he says 11. Thank you. Speed Editions RC. Joe says it's 11. Josh Rhodes, what's going on, man? I wish you could make it too. Kevin Gibbs, I will go live. I'm not going to go live the whole time like I have in the past. I need my phone throughout the day, and that becomes problematic. So, yeah. So last time I was tethering to my phone to another phone that was actually doing it, that wasn't actually on a network anymore, but I was using it to Wi-Fi, and that way I could still have my phone for doing things I needed to with it, but I couldn't leave the area where the streaming was locked in, and there were times I just needed my phone, so that didn't work. So I'll go live several times throughout and bring in some action from each. I'll try and do some of each of the different classes, but it's not going to be the whole thing. like in the past. It also, I get so many copyright stings from it because they play, music the whole time. And a lot of the stuff just literally takes the video down. So, I can't even have the video up or like cuts big sections out wherever songs are from record companies that don't allow their music on YouTube at all. Like either you have to completely kill the audio in it and it's just dead silent and you're watching stuff. It just becomes a big nightmare of a headache for me. So, and my channel's beyond being able to do that. So, yeah, maybe one day I will, if I wasn't racing and all that, I'd set up and do kind of like, the live stuff does. I totally have the capabilities to do multi-camera streaming, from it, but you can't do that and be a part of it. So, but yeah, all you do is you work that weekend, basically. And that's not why I got into the hobby, honestly. Some people can do it. The live RC people that want to do it, that's awesome. But I'm doing it to, if I'm showing up at a race, it's because I'm going to have some fun, hang out with people. So I'll make a video from it, but that's about it. I'll make multiple videos from it and I'll go live throughout it, showing trucks and all that. Autism RC Dad, most of the day, Thursday. You can come in and qualify. So yeah, Josh, man, sorry to hear that. You've had a rough couple weeks. That sucks, man. Yeah, glad you got to have the Trigger King racing. That did look like you guys had a good time. Get your mind off of things, which is good. YSU printmaking, are you running the LMT at the race with the cage or no cage? I'm running mine with the cage. I'm running mine as a grave digger and a son of a digger. And Josh, I don't know, did that black paint ever show up, man? I wonder if it can just make its way down there and I'll just paint it there. I'm trying to make a sticker bomb 3.01 and I cut it. I hacked the death out of this body so I could leave the cage on. I like how they handle with the cage on. You know what? Everyone says, oh, what's going on with your suspension? We really like your suspension, how it handles, yada, yada. I'm like, stop dicking around with your trucks. Mine's straight out of the box and it runs like this. You're taking off the cages. Your shocks aren't going to work the same because you're not going to have the same sprung weight. The truck is built for the sprung weight. If you're going to change that, you need to change your springs. You need to change your shock oils. You got to do so many things. And, some of you guys know how to do that, but there's so many people that don't. And it's just kind of, if your truck's not handling well, that's the reason. It was built with the cage and with the cage in mind. And when you remove that, the stock settings no longer work. So, I haven't touched, everyone that says, and I get it a lot. I respond all the time. What are you doing with your shocks? I'm like, I'm not touching them. It's exactly how they were. My first truck that I got back in October, same shock oil, haven't topped it off, haven't done squat to it, and the truck just handles. So, how do you say this the right way? There's a lot of brilliant minds that go into making these things. There's a lot of racers and people that have tuned and worked on stuff for years and years, more experience than I have. And they've developed these to work a certain way. And, I think they handle pretty awesome out of the box. That's all I'll say. So people like Josh Rhodes who know how to tune his truck. And as he says, he took the cage off, but he also changed out the shock oil and rebuilt his shocks to handle how he likes. That makes sense. Emax Racer suspension tuning. My suspension tuning is let all the oil just get old and dirty and just love it like that. It's wonderful. That's not true. I do on some of my trucks. In fact, like on my SCX 10-3, I need to go in and change the shock oil in it because I can tell that it is not thick enough. So I'm probably going to put 80 weight in that. I think it's got like 30 in it, and it needs some thick stuff. Hedmansky Hobbies, him as well. I would, he knows how to tune his shocks. But he also knows that these springs and stuff are weighted to this truck and handle well. Like I said, I haven't had to touch mine, so everybody that thinks mine off of the big airs and everything handles all right. I haven't done anything to them. I left it how they built it. Hey, AZ Froggies, man, I totally get it. Thanks for stopping in for a minute. JER, mine run like I stole them. Tuning, who needs tuning? There comes a point to where you learn how to drive it as it is, and that's kind of where I've been with a lot of my trucks. A lot of it is just having wheel time, and that's the thing with the low C is I've kind of also learned how I like to land with it as far as the wheels on the ground. Like, the other thing is I want mine to have some pop because I like to freestyle with them. So it comes down to how I land as to whether or not you have a big pop from it. So I love now to do like that Lee O'Donnell front flip, right? So if I can get it to land nose in and pop, as soon as it hits, I hit the gas and it just throws it into a wheelie. It hits nose in, and as it drops it back, you hit the gas and it'll just wheelie right out of it. Opposite is for the moonwalk. So you get it to go so that it hits back tire first, and then as the front settles, you're hitting reverse and it'll just moonwalk out of it. It's all about timing. And so as you learn how the truck handles, you can make it land different ways just by how you land the four tires on the ground and the way that you make it impact. And if you're not, some people also are hitting the gas too much in the air as it's landing, and that's just either the gas or the brake, and it's making it slam it down to the ground. So a lot of it just comes into learning to handle the trucks, and the more you spend time driving them, the more that you can make them do what you want them to do. So that's part of it. But I think the shocks, everyone asks me what shocks do you get for that truck, and I think the shocks that come with it are pretty decent. What shock oil do you run in a bone stock clodbuster? Grease. Put something in there to slow them down, man. JER, man, when you coming down? Up. When are you coming up? Cody Vandenberg. So rip out the lights and drive it like a monster truck. Yeah, that's what I ended up doing. I don't mind if they start with lights in them. It's all good. They end up breaking usually for me. I don't rip them out. Well, I don't like go in and pull them out. I usually do rip them out, but that's why I don't bother paying or spending the time putting them in. YSU printmaking eventually will upgrade the servo, but I like how it drives. I agree. I'm running the stock servo in two of mine still. Only one of them is upgraded at this point to the raw 500, and the other ones are noticeably slower, but they do all right still. They're not the worst. They aren't great. I'll just put that out there. It works for a ready to run, and it's worked a long time. Actually, the one in the Gravedigger, I've put that truck through a lot recently, and it's still running the stock servo and servo saver. I've busted countless rod ends on it. By countless, I mean like 4. So I guess you can count to 4. So not countless, but maybe 4, 3 to 4 on that truck alone. And I've broken 2 of the sway bar posts, which I need to talk to Hetmansky because he's got some that look pretty cool. as well that are a little thicker. It looked like, um, but yeah, those have snapped on me. I keep extras because they do, and it snaps. I mean, it makes sense where it snaps. It's right where they did channel it in so that it locks that grub screw in. And so it's thin right there. And honestly, what I do is I just unscrew it and shove it in and tighten down and have one side a little bit shorter. And I honestly don't notice the difference. That's how good my driving is. It's that I just don't notice stuff. Hey, Riff Raffs, man, thank you so much for whatever I need. I know what I need. I need some rod ends for the LMT right now. And I'm hoping that Hobbytown has some with them when they come. I told them a couple things to get, which would be like shock ends. Those will break. And then the rod ends. So they won't break on JER's truck because he's gone treeled out with them. And actually, well, I don't know where. Mine shouldn't break anymore, honestly, either. So I had ordered these. I haven't installed them yet. But I've actually broken upper ones. I said that they probably wouldn't break. And I've broken 2 upper ones, so it's possible. And Josh Williams has plastic ones. Sweet. I will be getting some of them. Hey, did you answer about the paint? Did that ever make it to you guys? I'd ordered some paint from the Hobbytown in Newport News, and they were potentially going to get it to move stores for me. Otherwise, I got to drive. Or the Vidavon. That's what I have, Earl. Just pulled them up. I do like the Treel knuckles, though. So I just had actually ordered. So I've got Treel knuckles now for 2 of my trucks that I ordered from JER because I like them as much as I like the Vidavon axle. I like the Treel knuckles and the way that they go in. So I ordered those for my Vidavon axles. Andy says I'm going to like them. I'm just wondering when I'm going to break next when I put them on. That's what scares me. What's going on, Mier? Kevin Snow, with all the dead time during the qualifying, would non-racers be able to mess around on the track? No. Because there's not really dead time qualifying, and they also, I don't think, because of the advantage it gives people, allow just run time on the track. So I don't think so. Because if it's not, it's being watered and it's being tended to, usually, if it's not being run on. And Friday, there is no dead time during qualifying. The dead time is between you and your next qualifying. But they will be running trucks nonstop on Friday for qualifying. Thursday, we will probably be finishing up the course stuff. They'll be painting, doing some of that stuff Friday too, getting it ready for the show and shine on Saturday morning. And so once it gets paint on it, there's nobody on it until the racing. So oops, Earl says I need to buy upper links now. I've got 4. I was going to do dual lowers. Yeah, JER's gonna have his trail truck. Yeah, Josh, if they at least just make it down to the track at some point, that's fine. If not, I'll just get him after. It's not a big deal. And also, Josh, did Mike Dayton show you the video? It was great. There was it was a Karen video about a cop playing with an RC car, and he'd been called in because this guy was driving the RC car in Williamsburg, which is actually kind of ballsy, like straight up in front of like the governor's palace thing or whatever in Williamsburg. And there's a big, huge open grassy area. And it's kind of like they keep it like non-motorized anything in there. There's horse and buggies and all that kind of stuff. He's ripping a Creighton, But there's no rules saying you can't, and that's what the security said, and the police also said. They were asking him about it, and they ended up talking about buying it from the Newport News in Hobbytown. Anyway, gave you guys. He didn't give you a shout out, but it kind of does in a way. It was pretty wild. So you have to look that up. It's just RC cop Karen, maybe if you Google that. I'll see if I can't get it to pull up here because I'm in the YouTubes. RC cop Karen, 672,000 views. Yeah, here it is. Nasher 98. Cool cop drives RC car versus Karen security and police. So downtown in Williamsburg. Pretty funny. Cody Vandenberg, did I flatten my track to make room for a monster truck? I did not. My kids are playing baseball out there and kickball. That's one reason. And they're hitting it further now. The second reason is I'm going to be out of town quite a bit for work stuff, and it's going to overgrown. As you saw in the video, the last video of it, there's grass growing out of the jumps. So I was going to rebuild it, and I'm like, I'm going to be at World Finals. I'm going to be at Axial Fest. I've got all this stuff going on. I'm not going to be able to, and it's hard to maintain. Like weed whipping it out of those jumps sucks because it shoots rocks and dirt all over at you, and it's just hard to mow around. So it's just the right time to do it. So kind of for us, summer becomes like winter for the Canadians, and you Yoopers and Northerners and all that. We get like biting flies really bad here. Like can't go outside without just going like this the whole time because they're swarming your head. They're called yellow flies, but there's also deer flies, and they just literally swarm and land on you. And if you're not swatting, they just bite, leave huge welts. And so it's just not fun to be out there. So yeah, that's part of it. So it's just kind of like that downtime. I've got other things we're going to do. I'll be down at the dungeon. They don't have the flies as much there because it's a bit more open. Where you got the trees is really where you run into issues. And we got trees all along that edges of us, and they'll come out to that whole area where we are. Even our pool's a little bit miserable. Like you wouldn't think that about a pool. But like, especially it's 4 o'clock on, if you're out there, they're darting at your head, and if you're ducking underwater, we have literally fly swatters lined all the way around the pool. And so you can grab one as they start swarming and wait for it to land and kill them. Anyway. So yeah, it's a little bit crazy. So that's the other reason is it's just not going to get that much use right now. Around here, fall, winter, spring, which we get a long amount of good time, so it's June. So June, July, August here are pretty miserable. End of August, it's still hot, but those bugs go away. They're really bad here end of May through mid-July. Maybe they're around in August, but that's when stuff will start kind of kicking again. We can't figure out how to get rid of them either. Do I have any surprises for diggers? I honestly don't. I was hoping to make up this Sticker Bomb 3.0, but I've been down at Digger's Dungeon trying to get World Final stuff ready, so I haven't had time. In fact, I have from the testing, I broke one of my rod ends off and something else, and I haven't even fixed that. So I'll be lucky to have running trucks at World Finals as it is right now. I think my the only surprise I have is that Reedy makes 3S shorty packs, and so I can now run my Pro Cs on 3S. So that's pretty amazing. I ordered 2 to test, but they're stinking Dean's pugs, and I'm gonna have to try and solder on new ends or get some kind of a adapter to go to Dean's for this weekend. That's what get crazy. I hate that. Just got the flag by things in a little bug zapper. Yeah, that stuff don't work for these things for some reason. So you read about them, and there's like these things that people do. The weirdest things. They make hats. So the only way to survive around here at this time of year, if you want to walk the neighborhood in the evening, um, is to have like a long brimmed hat all the way around, because they go for the highest moving thing, and it's your head, and they swarm it and whatever, and they just drive you nuts. Like you literally would go insane. I don't know how the first settlers dealt with it, but you have to have this big hat on, and they stay enough away from your face that they don't bug you because they're hitting the hat and doing all that way out here. But then you look like ridiculous with your huge hats on. But so yeah, some of the stuff that they do is they'll put Dixie cups on the hat, and then there's this sticky stuff called what's it called? It's so tacky. I mean, it's so messy. The other thing people do is they hang balloons from trees, like blue or black balloons. So they're swinging, and they've got this tangle trap. That's what it's called, tangle trap on it. It's a nightmare to get it on them and all that, and not pop the balloon, and then they'll fly into it like it's a person or a head or a cow or whatever, and they'll stick to it until they die. So people do that with their hats, and they put Dixie cups on it, and you'll zip time or whatever to your hat. But then you put other ones over that you can, slide over it. Now you can stack Dixie cups, because you want to be able to take those ones off to replace them, and then the next day put new ones on with more tangle trap. I mean, people get stupid with this stuff. Cody, did I get any crush locks? No, they were sold out. I looked at them, and I couldn't get them. So, yeah, they look wicked, man. JER has a special build. That's cool, man. I've got some of the micros, and somebody asked me about that. Where's my micro truck? So I have my micro truck done, and I have one now from Mojo RC, 24 scale. Hold on one second. I've gone crazy a bit. So I've just bought a bunch of these AMT monster truck wheels. I bought some at Hobbytown, had some. I bought their last one. So I've got now several sets of these, and planning to do some building. I've got from Mojo RC, he's got bead locks for them. He's got like tool packs and stuff like that for him with the small screwdriver sizes, which is awesome. And then somewhere in here is a chassis, more wheels and stuff. I bought a bunch of wheels. It might be in here with these bead locks. But he also, for the crawler ones, he makes these cool extensions that give you a lot more flex. So these are wicked. That's what I went on there to get. And then I saw a whole bunch of stuff like how to lift your oh, there's the truck. Nope, that's not it. I don't know where it is. It fell out of the box. But 24 scale. His is cool because it's a little taller. I don't like how high it sits. I feel like the one I built already has a pretty good look for a monster truck chassis with the body sitting in the wheels. However, his solves the shock issue, but it also it makes this. He has a clip system for the Spin Master $15 RCs that they sell at like Target and that. There's Gravedigger ones that so they can clip on and flip up and down. So it's awesome. The chassis though is a little taller. But yeah, it's pretty cool. RC part shortage is real hard to get parts. Yeah. Red Viking Hobbies. Yeah, Mofo RC. He's saying that Nick's builds are sick. Yes. He has a video. If you look it up, the STX24 monster truck, Mojo RC, he's got a cool video showing how to build it. It's awesome. Steve D2 says, don't use an Aussie hat. Tie wine bottle corks all the way around the rim. Does nothing to keep the flies away, but after you drink the wine, the flies don't bother you any longer. Yeah, Brandon Timlin's right. It is swamp life, and they did use herbs and all that. We just haven't figured it out for some reason. Yeah, Spin Rush C1 still got the Reefs hat on. Reefs shirt, got a Reefs banner over there. Reefs is cool. They just released a 5th scale servo that I really want for the Primal monster truck. I'd love to try it in there. Curtis D says Reefs for all 500 is a game changer on the LMT. That's my favorite servo. And I do have a Reefs 99 micro in that monster truck, and it turns the wheels real good for a micro crawler. Bit expensive for the micro crawler, but it changes things for sure. Oh yeah, Andy Ritchie says he's got some of the stuff from Mofo RC. Was I saying Mojo? Mofo. Right home store at Tony Monster Truck Store. Yeah, I do have a pretty good monster truck store of stuff. Pretty decent collection, and I should have a Warpath chassis coming here soon. I have a King Sling I need to build as well. Mud truck. I got a few things lying around, but I have another LMT that I'm trying to build from a kit to be the Sticker Bomb 3.0. It's not going to be ready for this weekend, though, unfortunately. Yeah, Demon 60G KG servo GER saying is best by the numbers and cheaper than the others too. Does that one run off of the receiver power, or does it need another battery? I'm not really into ones that require another battery or balance lead plugins and all that. Just one more thing to pop off for me. I like to not have to think about my servo. Boom, 8.4 off the ESC. That's the kind of stuff I talk about. Yep. I like the ESCs that have a BEC built in as well, so I don't have to do any of that annoyingness of putting in a BEC. In fact, I haven't ever done it because everyone that said, oh, you should do that. And then I get one say, can you show me how? They're like, well, I've never actually done it. So I'm sitting here. I got a BEC in a box. I got too many RC parts like that. We're just in a box that never happened. But yeah, Andy, it's actually JER that did that. He's posted right above you in the comments. He's the one that put the drop box transmission in. He's got a whole build of awesome chassis stuff for it. We built one of them here. It was in a video of the APEP one that's a bolt-on for the LMT. Literally just take off those top wings, as I call them, on the front and the rear, and it instead of having a front wing and a rear wing on each side, it's just a whole chassis piece that looks like a monster truck chassis that bolts to the bottom, and you have one on each side. So instead of 4 plates to the center plate, so there's 6 plates to an LMT, it becomes 4. So you get rid of extra. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And it lets you run a whole bunch of body options. So right now, my buddy Jeremy is racing it, and he's racing it in the LMT class. So it'll be there this weekend, and it was running my Northern Nightmare body on it. But he's loving it. So it's really cool changes. And now that I'm actually building the kit, I wish I had it to put on there so that when I did this body, it would have been able to fit on there. I don't like, so the one thing with not running the cage, I don't like that you don't have a support up under the top of the body when you crash, which I do a lot of. And it just kind of crunches in on the body. It's just, I like to have that support up under there. And that's the cool thing with, if you get the APEP or the Percy's chassis, and there's different ones. You can get the full one where you just take everything off and use the parts and whatever, and you can kind of lay it out a little different. Or there's the bolt-on options. So it's pretty cool. I've been running most of mine with the stock chassis still in. I did run the other one, but now Jeremy's racing it. I'm racing this stock Gravedigger, Son of a Digger. I mean, those are my two favorite trucks anyway. So I know everyone's trying to change to other things and get other bodies on and all that, but like those are the two trucks I would choose to run, like if I had to. So it's pretty cool that they're available. So I do have a bad habit body that just fell behind the couch. I'll show you here real quick. Fell behind my couch over there. Was sitting on the top, so I don't want to be sticking my butt in the camera. But this would be cool on like a Percy's chassis or whatever. Or you do the APEP and have the bars coming through. That's actually my favorite style. Is still showing the frame of the truck coming out the back. But have this one ready to go on a truck. Not sure what yet, though. I was going to put it on the... but I really want to do a SMT or a Sticker Bomb 3.0. Jeremy says, still going to be Northern Nightmare. Ran out of time. Josh is not running a body. The rules say you have to. I will tech your truck. Sean O'Connell, just curious by chance, did you try weaseling your way into getting behind the wheel of one of the Anderson Big Boy toys? No. Nope. Did not. But I did drive the skid steer for a little bit. But it's nerve-wracking with somebody watching you, and you never really run one quite like it. Yeah, Jeremy Smith, he's been running it fast too, man. So he's been talking good things about it at all the races too. I'll show you. If you give me a second, I'll go get the Sticker Bomb 3.0. I hacked the crap out of it. Here, I'll put on some music for you guys. Give me 2 seconds to run down and get it. It's in the garage, in a state of garaginess.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon. Try to catch me howling at the moon. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
All right, back. So it's actually going to be a pretty simple paint job because most of it's stickers in the back. And I didn't want to do flames this time. So that kind of like a point. It's going to be green still. Right up to the front of it. And then on the sides. Kind of Charlie Brownish. But it'll be black with these green. And it actually, I've got holes that mount up and meet here, here. And it looks like I can get 2 on the side. But I've hacked the front up, way up, no bumper. And it hangs out of the front. So, which means that the wheels are not going to line up with the body. Just what it is. So, I think it'll be all right. It keeps the cage under it to flip it up. But I wish that this cage mounted it up here and just ended there, because then you could have literally cut this front off and still done the mounting underneath. Just so long for most bodies. Roll cage is a body. Oh, so you're driving the what's the Monster Jam University truck? Just put some little tape on the sides and UNOH, and it could be like their educational trucks. So it's gonna be cool, but I don't like the front sticking out. It's gonna get ground up on the moonwalks. It actually is gonna save the body though, so blessing and a curse. I don't know. It might be all right. It was for an LMT, and so this is what I do. This is what I was saying I do like. So that's why I'd like the APEP chassis probably still. Because you just cut it out and you still just run the cage coming out the back. Like this. That's just my personal style of what I like. I left the wheelie bar in the back. That's the other thing I left. It's just my driving style works best that way. So the wheelie bar sits right out the back of it. Barely. It actually hides it away a lot better. And that's when it's all pushed down like that. So it's actually nice. And oh, I should mount these posts too. Before I paint, I need to do those too. Looks like I get 2 more body posts back here. It's pretty close. Well, give or take, front or rear. It would kind of bend it and bow it. We'll see. Jeff is wondering what time freestyle starts on Sunday. That's really hard to know. You get a better gauge for it Saturday night because you'll know how far along they are in the racing. And usually they're about getting into the pro mod at that point. And there's usually a lot. But now that we've got the LMT class too, it's really hard to say. Yeah, JER is right. When you open this up, it's going to be problematic because the body's going to hit. Let's see here. So that's in. Yeah, it's hitting. So I'm actually going to cut slots into the back of the body then so that it'll tilt up. So the bed's going to have slots in it too. That's probably all I needed to lift anyway, though. It might be all right for me. But I'll probably just cut a groove out of the back. It's going to be all hacked up and have stickers all over it anyway. All right, man. Sean, we'll see ya. Yeah, Kevin takes off. You know, a lot of people destroy bodies as he's bursting my bubble. Yeah. I mean, I could just Velcro it on like the other way I do them. And then pop it off. But then you start to lose the tackiness after a while. It'll work. Anyway, so that's the details for No Limit World Finals. I mean, it's going to be awesome. There's potential for rain. That's every year. Hopefully that's not an all day rain. Sometimes we get them kind of like Florida rains where they'll come at night for an hour, which would actually be good. As much as we're going to run the track, it's going to be dried out and dusty. A good soaking at night is good. You won't even see it in the morning usually. But I mean, there's potential Saturday during the day, but you never know. The percentages are so weird around here. So, Josh, I'll see you down there, man. I'm going to get ready to wrap this up. I've got to pack a whole bunch of stuff in for starting to take stuff down tomorrow and get stuff ready. So I've got probably another couple hours of work ahead of me, and then wake up early, do some fun stuff I'm not going to talk about right now. Not like conspiracy news stuff, but cool project that we'll talk about when it happens. And RC related, just it's a video thing. So it's shooting that tomorrow, and I think that's it. Good stuff going on. So don't fret. The channel's not going away. Track's going away right now, but it's all temporary. We're still building stuff up, still pushing forward, still building stuff, still driving stuff. And now down at Digger's Dungeon, have even more opportunities with the crawler track. I can go down there and do several things in one day, which will be awesome. So good stuff. Anyway, guys, we'll keep it moving forward. See you guys this weekend. We'll have lots of video coverage coming. Wrap up videos, day videos, live videos, all kinds of stuff. So stay tuned, and we'll see you. Jeff, see you, man. Josh, JER, see you Thursday. Earl, take care, man. Jeff, Spin Rush, Riff Raffs, Brian Taff. Yeah, Flex Seal the Bodies. Don't got time for that. We'll see, maybe. 4 weeks till Axial Fest. Hopefully I'm seeing Bari Musari here soon. I'm heading down there to see him. Well, I'll see him as part of, I'm going down to do work, but I'm trying to meet up with him. So stuff coming, guys. Keep cool. Keep RCing. And I'll catch you next time.